A small wooded community where the skies are never clear, the clouds are low, and the shadows never stop following us. Welcome to Alternia. Hello, listeners! I have been asked to warn the good citizens of Alternia to stay away from the alley behind Grubb's ammunition shop. It is therefore advised that all citizens conduct their back alley surgeries elsewhere. While I apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause, I also believe that this will be an opportune time to utilize the Alternia General Hospital, which the City Council has worked vigorously to clean up. Just last month, they issued the ban to sell patient organs. I believe it is much safer. Now for the news. A friendly reminder that starting at noon this Saturday, the Alternia Elementary Bake Sale will be happening. All proceeds will go to benefiting the animal shelter here in town. We have a message from Nepeta Leon, who maintains the shelter almost entirely on her own.
Hello everyone! It is very important you take part in this event. We keep these very dangerous animals for the sake of the community. It would be a shame to have one losing your home, right? So come down, bring your cat snacks and raise money for a better cause.
Now, I would like to remind everyone about the upcoming blood donation. We have been in desperate need of universal blood donors, so anyone that has been approved to give blood to the eternal darkness and void, please do. It seems to be growing ever closer, and as citizens of this dear town, it is your job to appease it. We have new visitors in Alternia, listeners. 2 of them, siblings perhaps. Most likely from the same genetic slurry. While I did get a view of them both, one was not as impressionable as the other. My eyes first fell upon the seemingly male one. He had light hair and dark skin, face encased by strange mirror-like eyewear. It was the one with the feminine appearance that struck me, her face reflecting off the male's metallic accessory. When I first gazed into her eyes, they shone like deep pools of purple so vast that I saw myself floating in them for all eternity, completely engulfed in rich waves of rippling lilac. Her hair was as light as her counterparts, though it was short and perfectly groomed. Her face held contrast between dark skin and hair so light it seemed to glow, and listeners, those beautiful, riveting eyes, they could have held me paralyzed in my spot for hours, days, possibly perpetually. Perhaps the one beside her had the same beautiful eyes. There are many facts that we may never come to find, and this may be one of them. Only time shall tell. Oh, I'm sorry, listeners. I was babbling. It seems to be our dear quietus officiary's turn. Please bring your attention to Miss Aradia Megiddo.
Yes, thank you, Kanaya. As always, these things are sad to hear about, but let's try to keep things positive. After all, death is inevitable and is something we will all experience sooner or later. First, we have Jackson. Poor soul has died before his time, so early in life at only 976 years old. He died of severe trauma to his 3rd head. Next we have Carol. The poor girl lost her sense of direction while at the concierge desk at the Stop and Steal. Her body has not been found, but she is confirmed dead as copious amounts of bodily fluids have been found that are genetically similar to her own. Now we have Tom, who seems to have forgotten to fill out his death application with Town Hall. He has been revived and will be alive sitting at the hospital in room 5C until Town Hall has finished processing his paperwork. This could take 1 to 2 months, so if you want to visit him, do it now before the paperwork has been processed. We all know how times can just get away from us. And lastly, we have Gerald. It looks like you have not died yet. But no worries, Gerald. Soon. Keep your eye out for bike tires on your way to work today. Next, as always, we have Gamzee, our clown of an intern, who surprisingly only would have died 3 times since our last obituary segment.
This morning I found a motherfucking blink fly and followed it right off a cliff. But I ain't feel nothing, not a scratch on my body. There's this cute little fish swimming around all mirthful like. Followed that motherfucker around and little brother lead me up to as big as slippery ninja with gills. So I got my follow on him for maybe 2 hours. This brothers ain't the best with time. I ain't really fucking realized I was underwater till I tried to swill a Fago and then it just floated out of the bottle. Was getting my thing gone for a bit, trying to figure out what kind of miracle would make that shit float like that. All sorts of strange, so I got myself turned around and set for home. Was confused all sorts when I was soaking and laying on the beach.
Well, that was quite a riveting turn of events, though I must say that may be the longest I have ever seen him stay focused on one thing. But as we speak, he is downstairs in the intern break room, which has accidentally been filled with toxic gases. He's fine, don't worry about it. The stars beckon to us with a low, bellowing screech. It seems almost like a thought, telling you to fill your gas tank, to help the environment more, to buy more fresh vegetables. We love you, they say assuringly. We want you to be healthier and live longer. But despite the assurance that comes from these bellowing screeches, you are still unsure. When you sleep at night, you don't dream anymore, but repeat the same silent screeches. You toss and turn in your bed, awake. A small drop of sweat falls on your forehead. The sweat does not belong to you. To whom does it belong? You open your eyes in a haste to see a muscular man looming above you. Despite the dark, he wears sunglasses. The shades slide a bit down the bridge of his sweat-drenched nose to reveal the calming eyes beneath. They plead you not to scream. They comfort you. He tucks a card in your hand. He then reads what it says to you. Sahak Gym. Open 24/7. Closed on monthly blood sacrifice days. Bring your best. Become stronger. Become perfect. With this, you sleep easily, for the man of your dreams has visited you at last. This message was brought to you in part by McDonald's. I'm okay with it. Dear listeners, it is that time of year again. The shadows have returned from the depths of the trees. Have you and your family been claimed yet? No worries, they soon will, filling your days and nights with the inescapable feeling of being judged. Be sure to warn your children not to look at them, lest they be engulfed in the dark. The shadows love to observe, but hate to be the object of observance. Children, do not, I repeat, do not look at the shadows. And now it's time for... excuse me, listeners. It seems we have a phone call coming in. I suppose I shall answer it? Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Who is this?
My name's Dave.
Ah, Dave.
Since this is radio, I just wanted to request a song.
Well, I suppose it's time for the weather.
I'm lost in the dark and I can't see the stars. Please do help me. I can't find my way. Oh no, I can't find my way. Spaces, empty spaces. Can you read my mind? Time, empty spaces, too hard to fill, since I can't find you. Babe, my heart is void. Is there something there? Is there something more? wasn't listening for it anymore. This is an ode to escape. This is an ode to you. Spaces, empty spaces. Can you read my mind? Real time, empty spaces, too hard to fill. Since I can't find you, this is an ode to freedom. This is an ode to you.
Welcome back, listeners. I have very urgent news to build upon the warning from the beginning of the show. The small vortex that has begun to form there in the alley behind Grubb's ammunition shop has already managed to suck a few objects within it, including lives. I warned you to stay away from the alley behind Grubb's ammunition. It is of no one's fault but your own that you are wherever you are in whichever dimension. Now we will have more information on it from a fairly new scientist to our town, Jade Harley.
Hello, this is quite a find. This vortex has all the observational features of a black hole, but it does not act like a black hole at all. A black hole the size of a dime is enough to destroy the Earth in less than seconds. And here we have a vortex that is at least the size of a softball, and it isn't doing anything. It's amazing. We have stuck things in and found it does have a very strong vacuum. Also, I'd like to take this time for a moment of silence, for we have lost a research assistant in their valiant search for the truth. Anyway, it is truly exciting, and I am very excited to see what more vigorous research will get us.
That is truly exciting to hear. I'm interested in how this story will develop, but I'm afraid to say that it is indeed time to go. Stay tuned, listeners, for our next program, an hour-long special over dinosaur mating calls. Good night, Alternia. Good night.
Welcome to Alternia, produced by Asexual Jesus Christ, is a crossover Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner, and Homestuck, written by Andrew Hussey, original music by Disparition. More info on disparition.info. Today's weather was Detection by Theak. Want your music to be featured in the weather? Visit welcometoalternia.co.vu/ask and submit your info.
Today's proverb: do not trust the circles. Don't trust them.